Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so open up the PDF.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna warm up with the object technique and
Okay.
describe an object without using the proper name, and then we're gonna go into storytelling. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And storytelling today is going to be slightly different than before. Okay. So we're going to
Yeah.
try a different approach. All right. So let's go to page 12. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So on page 12, today's objects are going to be in the form of a profession or a type of work that people do.
Okay.
Okay. That people do. So you're going to, first of all, you're going to look at, I'm going to give you a picture as an example, like the scientist. As the first picture there, and what you're going to do first is describe what you see, very detailed, using simple English. Okay. Then the second thing is, what does this person do? What is this profession? What do they actually do? And the third question is, where can you find them? Where do they work at? Generally.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Should I start from the first picture?
Yeah. Start with the scientist. Correct.
Okay. I see a woman. She's wearing a white uniform, and she working in a laboratory. And around her is different chemical liquids. And in her hands, she also has some. I think it's a glass container with a liquid, and she is doing some experiment. So there is another liquid in front of her with a different color and with a different ingredient. And on the right side, she has another liquid in a big jar. And under that jar is a fire. So she's making she warms it up. She warms it up.
Okay, very good. Okay, and now what does she do? What type of work is this?
She is identifying different liquids, and if that liquids or chemical ingredients has some special ingredients in them.
Okay, good. And where do they work? Where does she work at? Where can you find this type of profession?
You can find this type of professionals in hospital, in universities, in pharmacy companies, or in other private laboratories.
Research facilities, right? Research.
Yes.
Okay, very
research
good.
Facilities.
Very good. Okay, go to the next picture, the secretary. Again, describe what you see, and then what does she really do? What's her main function? And then where do you see her?
I see a woman, and she's working on some document. She has a typing machine in front of her, and she's typing some information on the paper. And she's wearing a nice office outfit. And in front of her is on the table, there is another document with some other information. And so, should I say where I can find it?
No. What does she actually do? What's her main function?
I think your main function is organize documents and information for your manager, for your boss. You can find her in any office where there is a boss. There's always a secretary, right? Or you can find it in some any kind of government buildings or universities. Mm-hmm. Oh, surgeon. Okay. I see two men, and one of them is wearing a green color uniform and a green hat that cover his hair, and also special shoes. And he also he also has a mask, but he is not wearing mask now. So probably the job was already done. And he has a tissue in his hands, so he just cleaned his hands with that tissue. And in front of him is a happy man who is smiling. He's very satisfied with the result.
Yes. Good.
And
good.
Yes.
So what type of work does he do, this surgeon?
Oh, he do treatment for people. So he open up their bodies and fix some wrong parts inside.
Okay.
Or maybe, yeah.
Okay. They're kind of doctors, but with a more specialty, right? Like a heart doctor, heart surgeon, brain surgeon, stomach surgeon. Okay, good. Then where do they work at?
Well, obviously in a hospital or dentist hospital.
Okay, the next one, the tailor.
Mm-hmm. I see a guy. He's sitting on a chair, and in front of him is a table with a sewing machine, and he has a piece of fabric, and he's making some stitches with that sewing machine on that fabric. And on the left side there is I don't know how to say it, a mannequin, a body shaped mannequin. So that guy, he's making clothes, different kind of clothes, or maybe some other garments.
Good. So that's his function. He makes clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay, where can you find him?
Well, you can find them in factories, or sometimes in a private, what is this, clothes shop.
Okay, very good. Okay, let's skip the teacher. Let's go to the technician.
Technician?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead and tell me, what is describe this one.
Okay, I see a guy, and he's wearing a white color uniform, and he's standing close to the table, and there is a computer on the table with a broken computer. So
his function is
this function is to fix their electronics inside the computer. Well, he worked for I think for IT company, and also
Okay, let's jump down to page 33. Okay, so we're going to do storytelling in a slightly different way. So I'm going to give you 3 words, all right? Line 169. The first 3 words, and you need to use these in any order, but you need to use these in some type of a story, some type of okay, so go ahead and use the 3 words: drink, study, and forgot.
But I can start with any of that.
You can start. There's no. So I just want you to use the 3 words. Okay. Just use them however you can.
So sometimes I go on a weekend. I go study to a cafe close to my house, and I buy coffee or tea, and I like to have some drink, some hot drink to drink while I'm studying, and I usually also bring my computer. And usually I use a paper cup for a drink, and I use a cover to cover that cup. And one time I had my laptop on the table, and I don't know why I forgot to take a cover for that cup.
Perfect. Okay, and good. That's good enough. So you use all the 3 words, and it was good, and you kind of went around to use forgot in the proper tense. Okay, so that was very good, very good. Okay, so let's go to the next page, 34. Okay, and line 58. Again, I'm going to give you the first 3 words.
What is it? 5? What is the line?
Page 34, the next page. Line 58.
Oh, okay. Okay. So this is against, couldn't, and dollar? These 3? Okay. Okay, we traveled abroad, and that was the first day, my first day in that country where I went, and that was a Sunday. And a Sunday, all banks are closed because they have a weekend, right? But I didn't have a local currency, and I forgot to change it in an airport where I arrived. So I only had dollars, but local people, they didn't accept dollars, and I couldn't even buy a breakfast for myself.
Okay, so let's jump now. to page 48.
48.
Yes.
Okay.
Line 1.
Mm-hmm.
The first 3 words.
Growth, heart, and basically. No, okay. It's kind of a little bit difficult.
Okay, you want me to
So,
change? You got it?
no.
You got it? Go ahead.
Yeah, I got it, but okay. You know, when I was a child, before the summer season, we start to already grow our vegetables in spring. So we had some kind of containers close to the window, and you can put the grains right to the earth because it's still cold in a spring. So before you put something in the earth, before the summer, we already started to prepare, and we put grains in containers with the earth to make them grow before. And it was very interesting because every day you can go to the window and you can see the difference. So you can see the growth every day a little bit. And every day there is a new leaves appear, or maybe there is a growth as a one millimeter. So after weeks, you can see a big difference. And when the vegetables became already like 10 centimeters high, you can take them and put outside of the house. I don't know how to use another one.
All right. We'll just switch. Okay. Same page. How about line 4?
Mm-hmm.
First 3 words.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. You mean user, educational, and consistent?
Yes.
Okay. So my friend, he's creating some educational application to study different languages.
Mm-hmm.
And he's focusing on users abroad.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, first he did some research, and he wants to make that application very convenient.
Mm-hmm.
So, first he sent that application to several of his friends to get a feedback. And that course is for several months, but you need to do that course consistent several times in a week. Otherwise, there is no result.
Very good. Okay. How about the next page, 49?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Line 49.
Mm-hmm. Opportunity, distinct and unusual. Distinct. So when I was in university, there was the opportunity to go for several months abroad to exchange your experience with students from different countries. And of course, not not all students could go. Their teachers wanted to find some distinct students who has special experience and they can share it with other people. So they asked us to make a small report what we can share, but the requirements was also that the report, the method how we share should be some unusual that people usually use. So they wanted to find the people who think out of box. Is it enough? Yes, I said they want to find distinct students.
Okay, all right. Okay, go to the next page, please.
What line? First three? Yes,
Let's see.
City politics in terribly.
How about line 93?
Yes.
First three. Line 93.
Oh,
93.
Depth, briefly.
No, page 50.
And relevant. So
line
when I was
93,
in
93.
Interview in the company, they asked me to briefly introduce myself, and after that they wanted to know what experience I had before, and they started to ask me some questions about my previous job. And so they wanted to find out what is the depth of my knowledge about that kind of job. If I'm making that, that I really work on that job, or I just making that it looks like I did that. And after that, they started to ask me relevant questions. And the questions weren't really difficult. So I think my interview went well.
Okay, page 51, line 126.
Okay, when I did my listening exam, it was very difficult for me to hear long stories because I was constantly losing what the people talking about, and I couldn't understand at all what they speak, and I even couldn't find out what was the subject of their talk. So after several minutes of hearing a small conversation, I feel very unhappy, and I feel anxiety that I can't understand anything. But after I heard that during several months, I heard more stories, and I started to focus on just about words, to not understand the subject, but at least to catch some words. I find out that after several months, I already don't feel so anxiety, and I'm more relaxed. And I already can understand what is the main subject, what they're talking about, and where the conversation leads. So after I had wait a minute. After I had sufficient experience, everything became easier for me.
Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay. I think that was good. All right. Very good class. Hold on one second. Hold on one second.